decades, for 90 years, the economy did not grow.
Really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Industrial Revolution, 19th century?
In this, yeah, early 19th century. Yeah.
Why?
What I could imagine is that actually, I mean, you may be able to produce more, but if the price is reduced, then basically the economic impact is very limited.
Engine combustion, right, at that time?
Yeah. Well, steam combustion engine, that was in the very late 19th century. Before that, we had the steam engine.
Steam engine?
Yeah.
Why 19 years?
90 years.
I don't understand what this means. They just should be closed.
I don't know if that is necessarily true, because
Actually, they are changing from horse dragging cart to automobiles.
No. That's much later. That's the turn of the 20th century.
It means he said 90 years means they try to innovate for the moving machine.
Yes.
Moving machines. The
So it's possible that people who work there.
Initial stage of industrial revolution, maybe yes. I can imagine. Their social life they didn't change a lot.
Well, a lot of people, they became factory workers, but they were paid like subsistence level wages, like really extremely low wages that were just enough for them not to die and not too much for them to actually take a day off. So basically they had zero spending power. So that did not benefit the economy very much, because the income inequality was very high. Maybe the actual
Same thing happened in Japan, Meiji era. They made weaving machine factories, and many young women worked there. At that time, I don't think the income will not grow, because they are originally working for other, not manufacturing industry, they are agriculture industry. So agriculture industry people moving to the factory.
right.
It means 100 years there will no growth of income.
Right.
Maybe yes.
Right.
Maybe yes. But after
But I never realized that actually the start of the Industrial Revolution, it took 90 years before actually so it took actually, this is interesting, at least I think it's interesting, that actually because of income inequality, because only a very small group benefited from the Industrial Revolution, the majority of the people did not actually see their income increase or maybe even decrease.
well, my question, how time period he just carried out 90 years, right?
So 90 years it took for the economy to actually grow. So we have seen the Industrial Revolution. We saw some people benefit and a lot of people not benefit. So the economic impact was almost zero. It didn't grow. So we are in the same situation right now, no? So we are in a situation that we see that AI could potentially make a few people extremely rich, and the rest of us will not see their income grow. So it could be, potentially, it could lead to the same results, that AI could actually lead to a stagnation in our economy.
No. My opinion is actually now is a dawn of AI era.
Yeah.
Dawn means nothing happened yet. So next several years later, this kind of AI system is going to start. For example, Apple, Google, IBM, they're going to preparing a big scaling, lot of system.
Yes.
Currently, just only SAP one system, right? But I'm thinking about the hundred people they're going to put in the market, and tremendous million company try to consider for AI for their company's prediction.
Okay, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the economic impact of AI.
Yeah, economic impact means actually AI never influenced the market yet.
No, that's I'm not denying that. I'm just saying, could we have another 90 years of no economic growth because of AI?
No.
Why? Because the same situation prevails. We in the initial period of the industrial of the industrial revolution, we saw that there was no economic growth. 90 years passed until we saw the economy grow. What happened after 90 years is that actually labor rights, democracy, those things started to come into place, right?
Just wait a minute. Just AI will going to add values?
But well, actually, that's the question. The same thing could happen with AI as it happens during the.
Okay, my question is, they invent automobile or they try to innovate factory, or they try to start airplane industry. They put on value added, or they can give us GDP growth.
The question is, how is that GDP growth being distributed? So what happened during the early industrial revolution? It was the steam engine, and we are still talking 100 years different, Uno-san. The early industrial revolution, the economy did not grow. Why? Because the industrialists, the people who actually put down the factories, they made a lot of money. The people who worked in the factories, they did not see their income increase. So actually, the economy as a whole, because these very rich people did not spend proportionally, so a lot of money was being accumulated among the elites, and the general population did not see their income grow. So
but it's strange about GDP growth, right?
Yeah, no, it's not strange. You need to look at it in the
No, my question is just
no, there was no economic growth.
Yeah, my question is textile output. They export textile. They can get money, but how come no growth?
No, there was, as you could see, there hardly any growth.
It doesn't make sense, right?
No, it does make sense. It does make sense to me, because actually, what you see in that period, so 200 years ago, is that we had a system where there's only a few capitalists who put down these factories and hire workers at very low levels of income. So the economic impact is that actually the vast majority of the people did not see an improvement in their income, in their situation, even though the economy...
Income for labor, right?
Yeah.
But this is output. They sell their product. But how come no growth of GDP? It just I don't understand.
I don't know how much revenue was generated from these factories.
What he's talking about is wrong, I think. But
no. Well, he's from Cambridge University, a scientist over there. I don't think he's talking out of his neck.
Why?
Well, it's very interesting. But what I think the reason for this was that because the economy was so unequal, because there were only a few.
Yeah.
So, but we are getting, actually AI could have the same impact, that only a few people will get extremely rich, and the rest of us will not see any improvement in our circumstances. So we could actually head into a similar period of economic.
IBM, Google, and.
But that's only a limited elite.
No, they will be GAFA for company will go into more richer.
Yeah.
But I tell you,
we will not get richer.
They hire a million programmer, but they're going to make a lot of system, right? They try to split all their.
Yeah, I will not deny, but just like the people who put down the factories, they would probably get richer, but the regular people, the customers, We already see that at the moment in the United States that the gap between richer and poorer, everywhere in the world actually, everywhere in the Western world, the gap between rich and poor is getting bigger. So we could actually see that this AI is going to be such a powerful tool that the people who know how to leverage that AI or produce that AI, they are going to be extremely rich. And then the rest of us may not actually see any benefit of that. We see a lot of job displacements, etc., etc. So we could actually see a very small group getting extremely rich, and then a lot of people actually losing their jobs, being displaced. So we could see a very long time of economic stagnation. If history could repeat itself. So instead of actually what,
why I just hit
intuitively you would
hit
say
my mind is
it would grow, but
much hit
maybe
my
not.
mind because past 10 years, Obama era, they just middle income class disappeared, and half of their population is middle class, lower class.
Was that because of Obama or was that because of technology?
I don't know, but anyway, lost middle class.
So
and half of their population is $25,000 income. Half of them.
So what we will see.
So at this means you are right?
So it could be that we actually AI will.
And Trump will going to save them, but I believe he cannot.
Cannot.
But just like you said, next 50 years, that kind of situation will continue. Maybe yes, you are right.
Maybe yeah.
Because white blue workers they cannot get job,
Right.
and the black workers they cannot get job. But also the kind of situation will continue. It means richer and more richer.
So it's actually very counterintuitive because we think instinctively we think, okay, new technology will bring economic growth, it's good for us, but maybe it's not.
Many people talking about they should get more skill education, right? More encourage them to study.
Well, try to compete with AI. That's going to be pretty difficult.
Try to compete. Well, how to utilize AI instead of compete, right?
That's the if you know how to utilize it, then there are a lot.
This is what I'm talking about. IBM, Google, and Amazon. They spend a lot of investment, million dollars invest AI, and they try to split many frameworks, many systems, and force them to buy, and they can give you the more advantage, so on so. But actually, their package is kind of tricks. What I mean, trick means, this is you follow on this my conclusion, your business will get more money. But actually, this is not accurate. Just 100 parameter, 50 parameter, 30 parameter result like this. You follow on this system, you can business will prosper. But this is not true. This is a problem. What I'm talking about. And each small company owner need to make judgment. My intuition different way, but IBM or Google recommend this answer will be correct. So you need to follow on this. But if they're going to follow on this, they will lose job. Kind of things happen.
Well, it's not perfect. I mean,
AI
it's
is
not
what
perfect.
I'm talking about. AI results some cases 80% accuracy, 70% accuracy, some cases 60% accuracy. You cannot manage job. So this is what I'm talking about. So each company need to make judgment for those systems.
Right, but it's impossible for average people to understand the inner workings of AI.
So this is what I'm talking about. New business will come surface. Somebody need to make judgment for IBM, Google output. This is what I'm talking about it. And we try to, are you going to, ordinary people need to utilize AI, but this is impossible. A big conglomerate, Titan TI, can dominate AI.
Shouldn't we be much more worried about what data we feed into that system than actually learning the mathematics behind it? Is it not
mixing? And why I'm talking about this is a quantum computer. Do you know IoT data will how many multiplied compared with the current information? 100. And then quantum computer can manage it immediately, right? is currently Google is 52 qubit. It means a tremendous amount of volume they can handle it. And also, what kind of handle this information? This is based on mathematics. You can do it whatever you like. Back propagation. Last week we studied back propagation means they need to. It's big data. They try to calculate another twice doubling calculation going backward, right? And forward propagation, back propagation. They repeat many times. It means 10 times they need to require the computer processing time. Sort of things will prevail. Then result like this. But I tell you, I don't believe them.
Well, you can't believe them, not 100%.
Maybe some cases there are right answers coming out.
It's the best estimate.
Yeah, but who's going to make judgment that is best?
Well, it is the best estimate.
This is my question.
No, okay, but it's the best estimator based on past data. So if you know that the current situation is unique, then you would be stupid to depend on AI because you know AI is as good.
I tell you, past data is their system is what the current system, what they're going to 30 parameters put in the system. At that time, they're going to specify this one is most important.
Yes.
This one is least important.
They are going to put that in.
Yeah. Okay. Climate data is third important. Most important, the current salary. Second important, the inventory. So they're going to prioritize the data.
Then it's no longer intelligent.
No.
The system should...
No. Later, you're going to study kind of information. And front end, they're going to weighted information. And the computer itself, they're going to judge by themselves this information.
Understand, that doesn't make sense. Why would you put those parameters
This
in?
is intentionally we're going to give them information to another human being. This is deep learning is human, another human being. When you're going to order your employees, this is the most important. This is not second important. You're going to give him a suggestion. Computer try to handle depend on your suggestion, your owner. Okay, your data owner. You can climate change. Okay, you not top priority. You second priority. You need to consider climate information. This is what actually.
Oh, what you're talking about is taking action. So you're
exactly.
going to instruct
Yeah. And then computer is he himself. She or she himself. She's going to make judgment based upon her thinking approach. Okay, and weighing inside, they're going to make judgment by herself. This is the current deep learning, right? So, but output is how to going to make output is based upon their calculation. But some cases they give us right answer, but some cases they will not give us right answer.
But that's merely based on the uniqueness of the situation that as it is prevailing, and the time range of the data that you fed into there. That could actually influence the outcome of the system. So the system is as good as the data as you put into it.
IBM will say that, but company owner, I don't believe it. My intuition, this is not accurate information. Your output is. Okay, so you need to recalculate the result again. He's going to ask you.
That sounds like a Japanese business owner.
Yeah, and then IBM, the salesperson is. Okay, let me try to think. Do you have kind of data? Do you have this kind of data? Maybe those data, if you have, result we're going to.
I would, if I was the sales director of IBM, I would say, do you actually want to use AI, or are you still
exactly
in your old ways?
That exactly. But this is some other person, the third party person to make judgment for the result. Buyer, seller, so there's just some gaps if they have. And the third party will make judgment. This is the accurate answer or not. Okay, this is I believe this is the other like your company new business.
It sounds like shitskoi.
No, not shitskoi. Just for example, real estate owners they have strong intuition, but the computer calculated result is give you the information. But some cases have gap my intuition and the result. In this case, we need to investigate why they give us that kind of result.
Or maybe your intuition is not as strong
I'm talking
as
about
AI.
are you going to believe the machine result, or are you going to believe me, or solve discussion.
I'm going to believe the machine result, but I'm going to look at to which extent can I predict the future based on the past.
I give you one suggestion. If you study mathematics, and computer study the mathematics for 3 years, but you should study 1 more year. Maybe you can study this kind of mathematics. You can get this other result you can get from it. This is true. He knows some equation, 100 equation. But we have another 100 equation. If you're going to study another 100 equation, say you're going to get another calculation. This is true.